Prime Minister Boris Johnson's former top aide accusing the PM of lying to Parliament over his involvement in a rule-breaking party at Downing Street. Dominic Cummings said he would, quote, swear under oath that Johnson allowed the May 2020 drinks gathering, which took place at the height of lockdown during the first wave of the pandemic. Joining us now is Bloomberg's EMEA News Director, David Merritt. David, does Cummings' intervention then put the final nail in the coffin for Boris Johnson? How significant is this from a disgruntled former aide?
Well, quite. Disgruntled former aide is the key thing, where this attack is coming from. You know, not many fans of Dominic Cummings in the Conservative Party, potentially not amongst the public at large. Remember, this was the person who, back in that first lockdown, excused himself for driving around the north of England with his family, saying he was testing his eyesight. So I think, you know, he's not necessarily the best person to put that final nail in the coffin. But of course, he has been behind many of these leaks and many of these allegations of wrongdoing. And he was there in the building. I think we're going to have to see who else comes out and perhaps corroborates this claim. He talked about other people who were in the room, as it were, with those warnings for the Prime Minister. We've had other reporters over the last few days saying that, no one else going on the record, though. So we're still in this kind of holding pattern at the moment as we wait for this Sue Gray report into exactly what happens. But of course, Mr. Cummings' intervention kind of keeping the story alive, as it were, drip-feeding more allegations. Who knows, maybe we'll be here tomorrow talking about the next one coming out overnight.
I'm sure we will be. I have to say, with like enemies like that, who needs an opposition party in the UK? Look, so we had various Boris Johnson apologies as well. And this is maybe a very Italian question, but we talk about the UK Tory party rage. Is it a rage, or is it kind of they're just asking questions? Is it simmering?
The rage was certainly real over the last few days. You know, our reporters at Westminster talking to many, many MPs. There is genuine anger. They've spent the weekend and yesterday, of course, gathering intel from their own constituencies, and many of them coming back to Westminster reporting that people are genuinely angry. And the polls reflect that, of course, as well. Many, many people who voted for Boris Johnson back in 2019 gave him that big landslide victory, now saying they want him to go. It's not quite at the overwhelming stage, though, at this point. You know, a lot of people still sitting on their hands, waiting and seeing. The cabinet, crucially, falling into line. You know, let's keep an eye on Rishi Sunak, the Chancellor. He's been pretty invisible the last few days. Is he just biding his time to see which way the wind blows? He's not exactly been out there on the airwaves backing up the Prime Minister. But for now, everyone is holding the line, and we're going to probably see this, you know, continue to play out.
So Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak seem to be the two people to watch in terms of potential contenders. But
yeah, and I found it amazing actually when there was that apology to Buckingham Palace. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. That felt like, you know, his time was up, and then he managed to claw it back.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to that kind of offence to the monarch from a Conservative Prime Minister, I mean, it's quite startling. But in terms of contenders, just briefly, you're saying that Sunak's keeping a low profile. Liz Truss, one to watch as well?
She's clearly one to watch as well. Yeah. She's made no secret of the fact that she has ambitions for the top job. Other names now emerging as well. Penny Mordaunt, Trade Minister, you know, other backbenchers, of course, you know, somebody like Jeremy Hunt, who ran against Boris Johnson for the leadership after Theresa May stepped down. Many people will come out the woodwork, I'm sure, as and when the moment comes. But for now, it's pure speculation. We're going to have to see how this week really works out.